Hi everyone, Happy New Year. I'm so excited to meet you again in this new year. Today I'll be sharing with you the top web hosting companies in Nigeria. If you are planning launching your website in Nigeria, in this video I will recommend Nigerian hosting companies you can rely on. This video is a quick guide on suggesting the top web hosting companies you can consider for your web projects. It will interest you to know that gone are the days when Nigeria don't have a reliable web hosting companies. Things has changed. There is this perception that Nigerian web hosting companies are just resellers, but the fact is that some of them have their data center right here in Nigeria. And even the popular international hosting companies are being hosted by cloud services like AWS, Azure, and Google Clouds. So what's the difference? Before I start, here are the pros and cons of hosting your website with a Nigerian company. You can pay in Naira. If you have your Naira debit card, you can just pay online with it, or you can go to any of the banks and pay into the accounts of these hosting companies. Then another one again is the .ng domain registry name. You can get it easily with them. If you just pay for a domain name, secure, get the domain name, register it and pay for it, and you just get it immediately. But if you are going to go through the international hosting companies, it might take several days for them to get it for you, and you are going to, and there are a lot of documentation you need to do with them. And at the end of the day, you might pay almost $100 for something that will cost you like 10,000 Naira. Again, Nigerian web hosting companies, their renewal price are always stable over a long period of time compared to that of their international counterparts. Coming to the disadvantage of the Nigerian hosting company, the first thing that comes in mind is their limited features. So if you want to build an enterprise website, I mean a high-end website, I would suggest you go for the international hosting companies. Most of them have the expertise to handle such a big project. Then talking about the customer service, which is another cons against the Nigerian hosting companies, I think for now the after-sales service of the Nigerian hosting companies has improved, in the sense that I've used couple of these web hosting companies and they respond, unlike 4 or 5 years ago where things are very terrible. You call on phone, nobody will pick. You write an email, no response. But now most of them have this ticket supporting system where you go to there, you log into the platform, you lodge your complaint. In a matter of minutes or hours, your problem is being solved. So the customer service of the Nigerian web hosting company have improved, although people still believe they are not meeting up to their expectation. But if you have used an international hosting company, you will understand that there's no more difference between the Nigerian hosting company and their international counterpart in terms of customer service. Some of the features you need to look out for when trying to patronize a hosting company is their server performance. Just in terms of when you host with them, will your website run very fast? Server performance is out of the scope of this video, but I'll do a thorough server performance on all these web hosting companies in the future and give you the result. So another one is disk space and bandwidth. So before you patronize any hosting company, you need to know if they can handle the kind of project you want to do. If your website is like 5 gig or 10 gig, can your hosting company handle it? If you are going to expect massive traffic of 50 gig, 100 gigs in a month, can they afford to do it? So you need to consider all those things before you engage with a hosting company. Ease of migration, this is very, very key. Ease in migrating or ease of transferring. Like when you see a better deal in another web hosting company, you decide to move away from your web hosting company, you don't need to contact your web hosting company if you want to move away. All you need to do is just click 1 or 2 buttons and that will generate you the code that will enable you to move your domain information to another web hosting company. So, but some website I've had this experience before. I wanted to move to another hosting company. These are Nigerian hosting companies. I need to contact my hosting company and tell them that I want to move. And they start asking me why, of which that's my right as the website owner. So at times they might frustrate you into not going away from them. So, and that might affect your business severely or affect your website. So if you are trying to get a web hosting company, you make sure that you can easily move away from them any day you decide not to do business with them. If you are running your website on WordPress, you must make sure that the hosting company has the latest version of PHP. As of making this video, the latest version is PHP 7. Finally, a good web hosting company must have a monthly billing. That will enable you to test the waters before you now engage them long term. So you can't just come into a web hosting company that you don't know how good they are and then you pay for 1 year or for 2 years. That's not proper. So you need, before you engage them, you must pay for a month or 2. Then if you're impressed or satisfied with their services, you can now engage them long term. So the top web hosting companies, the first on the list is HostNow. They have the monthly plan that starts at 350 naira with 2 GB disk space and 4 GB bandwidth. At least this configuration is good for a start. Then next on the list is Web for Africa. Web for Africa also have a monthly plan that starts at 700 naira. It will interest you to know that Web for Africa is one of the oldest web hosting companies in Nigeria. And then their 700 naira monthly charge has a configuration of 2 GB disk space and unlimited bandwidth. I have an issue with that unlimited, because when you talk of unlimited, you need to consider the fair usage policy. It's not always good when you tell your customer that something is unlimited and they start using it the way anyhow, and at the end of the day maybe you feel that they're abusing it. You now disconnect them or limit your service quality to them. It's not always good. You need to let them know this is the cap for this plan. When you exceed this, you will not be able to continue with the service, or you need to upgrade to a higher plan. So I have an issue here. Although Web for Africa is a very good hosting company, but they need to consider giving us the actual value or the actual cap for their bandwidth. So that's it on Web for Africa. Then the next on the list is Q servers. They have the monthly plan that starts at 450 naira. They have 2 GB disk space and 8 GB bandwidth. I've used Q server a couple of times and they are very, very efficient, but especially their response time when you have an issue with your site. When you just drop a ticket on their platform, within a matter of minutes they respond. That's a good one from them. Then we have Guarantor. Guarantor has the monthly plan that goes at the rate of 300 naira with 2 GB disk space and 10 GB bandwidth. One special thing about this hosting company is that in this list, they are the only one that you can visibly know that have a data center right here in Nigeria. They power everything that they have, and that's a very good plus. And it also reflects on the prices, because compared with others, they are probably the cheapest. So final on the list, and this company is very exceptional, very engaging, and they go extra mile compared to other web hosting companies. This company is Whogohost. Whogohost have a monthly billing system at the rate of 500 naira with 2 GB space and 10 GB bandwidth. The same thing with the Guarantor, but it's just that the Guarantor is 300 naira while Whogohost is 500 naira. But one special thing about Whogohost is, apart from their customer support or their after sales service, they engage with developers and also host online seminars and even events. I'm also aware of the most time they host the WordPress community in Lagos. They do so much in the developers community. They have that support. So for me, I will recommend them as the number one in my own opinion, followed by Guarantor. So these are the top web hosting companies in Nigeria. Then I will do a more technical, extensive performance test on these hosting companies, because I'm going to host on each of them to test run whatever thing I'm going to do. So if you want to get an update on that, on the video, on the future video, please, if you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification. Okay, these are the top web hosting companies in Nigeria. If this video has been helpful to you, please like it and also share it to others. And if there's some hosting, if you feel there's a hosting company that should be on this list, feel free to drop it and mention them on at the comment section. And if you have any experience you want to share, whether sweet or bitter, please feel free to share it in the comment section. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.